Pour ces chocs passion, je présente la WWE avec des Français massacrés. Je suis Chris Wolvie, le vlogueur catcheur qui dit au jour les choses telles qu'elles sont. Never took one lesson of French. Hopefully this will be better than the 3-3 I took out of Heatwave. At least one TNA title is back where it belongs. We just need to find someone who can kick Trick out. Anyway. Paris. The city of lights. The city of love. The city that's home to the Hunchback, the Aristocats, and Ladybug and Cat Noir, just to name a few. The city's still paying the bills for the last year's Olympics, and that lackluster closing ceremonies, for that matter. And now the city hosting the last WWE main roster PLE to be seen on Peacock. More on that next time. Only a handful of matches again, though half of them are for titles. The others are probably just what from superstars France wants to see again in their capital. Well, okay, maybe not Logan Paul, but hell, Cena's got to have a tough match before his final one with Brock Lesnar, right? So, with the European tour wrapping up, let's allons-y through these picks. Here are my predictions for Clash in Paris. The, quote, good old-fashioned Donnybrook, unquote. Sheamus versus Rusev. I doubt French would know what a Donnybrook was, even if held at gunpoint. Essentially, it's a non-DQ match with a bunch of Irish detritus strewn around the ring. Really, we've seen so many of these no-DQ matches, it's getting kind of tiresome. Now, Sheamus is practically infamous for producing banger after banger after, well, you get it. But if Rusev wants to justify his return to WWE after years as Miro, he needs to trounce the Irishman at his own game. Winner is Rusev. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Now, one would think, between Heyman and Braun Breaker at ringside, that Reed would have no problem with the OTC one, but I doubt Breaker will be at ringside, not to mention Heyman might stay behind, too, to prep Rollins for his title match. Reed is pretty much on his own tonight, and so is Reigns. But during his title run, he had rarely needed assistance from the Bloodline. Even if Jey Uso and Phillip Brooks kept an eye on the ring to make sure Bronson stays alone, that doesn't mean they'll be needed. Reigns needs to at least get into World Heavyweight title contention once more before he decides to retire. Taking out the bronze behind the brains will be a good start. Winner, Roman Reigns. John Cena versus Logan Paul, the man whose career in the WWE has lasted for nearly 24 years, against a man who hasn't even had 24 matches in the WWE. This time, however, Paul doesn't have Drew McIntyre to back him up. He's too busy with Randy Orton trying to beat each other into retirement. And I dare say that John Cena had much more to do with the deals with Netflix and ESPN than Logan Paul. Look, Paul is a decent wrestler when he wrestles. If he stopped holding out for PLE matches, he could be a decent contender. He wouldn't have to count on kickbacks from his bro to survive. This, however, is Cena's last go-round in Paris for his career. He already apologized to the kid he ridiculed before WrestleMania, though the kid knew it was a work. Now it's time to leave Europe on top. Winner is John Cena. WWE Tag Team Championships. Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits. Speaking of only PLE workers. Now I get with them as they are the champs for now. I get it with them. The chaotic ladder match at SummerSlam proved they deserved to hold the title, but it seems they're following the late Bray Wyatt's title match philosophy to the hilt. Only defend when the eyes of the world are upon you. Loomis and Gacy will have a hard time keeping up with Dawkins and Ford as they really want the smoke. But I get the feeling Nikki Cross will scare the bejesus out of the B-Fab, and that will cause the chaos needed for the Six to sick it to him. It'll be some other time before the family gives up the belts. War Games, perhaps? Winners and still champs, the Wyatt Six. Women's Intercontinental title. Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Bella, I mean, it's been nice seeing you back, just like it was nice seeing Trish Stratus, but when the hell you so-called legends learned that the WWE will not give any former diva a title? You're not John Cena, Nikki. You're not even with John Cena anymore. Oh, snap. Have this title match to remind you of your youth and go back to mooching off your sister and her man. Well, besides that, Lynch has this heel thing down pat, insulting Naomi for giving up a title after getting pregnant when that's what she did 5 years ago, insulting Ozzy Osbourne's family mere weeks after his passing. She is locked into being the Irish lass kicker and Irish a-hole. You can't fight evil like that, not at Bella's age. Winner and still champ Becky Lynch. Finally, Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus Phillip Brooks versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight. So it's S, F, and R, CM, LA, and J for the WHC. But before you think Rollins is F'd, let me squash that PDQ. First of all, the challengers won't do the smart thing and beat Rollins within an inch of his career, toss him out, and then fight each other to be new champ. See, they have their own vendettas against Rollins and refuse to let anybody or anything stop them from their goal. Second, this is where Breakker and Heyman, and Reed if he's not too damaged, get involved. As a no DQ match, there's nothing stopping the Bronze from protecting their leader and his title. Oh, sure, Reigns might get involved too, but the animosity, no matter how little, is still there between the challengers. All Rollins has to worry about is tossing everyone else out, curb stomping the weakest one, and leaving with the new big gold belt. Winner and still champ, Seth frickin' Rollins. Those are my picks, and hey, one American man can't be wrong, right? I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. Three pour la paix. Au revoir.